if you are employed somewhere, we all know if you're making $10 an hour, you're not really getting $10 an hour back in your paycheck. There's taxes that come out and everything like that. So my first thing would be to figure out exactly how much income you have coming in. And I think a good rule of thumb as well, I don't want to say completely lowball how much income you have in, but it's better to be low than over-exaggerate how much income you have coming in, because that can make a huge difference with your budget. So finding out exactly how much you have coming in, that's the first step. The second step is going through and figuring out some of your flexible spending. So flexible spending can be groceries, entertainment, utilities. I know that is a monthly payment that you have to make, but that can vary depending if it's 2 degrees outside or it's like today where you probably have your windows open, really no utilities being used a whole lot. So really going through and figuring out how much is in the flexible spending category. And then you're going to go down to the monthly fixed income. So that would be your rent. That's pretty fixed each month. Your insurance is pretty fixed each month. So really going through and figuring out how much fixed monthly payments that you have. Then you just do basic math. You add the two expenses together, subtract that from how much income you actually have coming in, then you'll be able to see how much money you have left after that period of time. When you're going through the budget, if you come to realize that you're over, you're spending more than you're taking in, you may have to then go back and reevaluate some of the items that you have listed out there. One thing as well, it's super easy to write this all down and get started with it and you're gung-ho. It's easy to kind of fall off track. My thing would be to, if you start slipping a little bit, do a reset. There's no shame in you've kind of got off your budget a little bit, but just make sure you do a reset. Don't completely just be like, I can't do the budget anymore, I don't want to mess with it. We've all been in that place where we've spent a little bit more, the budget's now all messed up, so that would just be another piece of advice that I'd give you as well, just to not get too freaked out if it doesn't work out the first time. And it may be the system that you're using. Like I said, some people like paper. I'm sure there's a ton of free apps out there that you can go and just put all that stuff in, it does the math for you. On the Commerce Bank's website, if you go to commercebank.com/learn, we actually have a budgeting tool out there that you can just type in your expenses and it'll calculate it for you as well. So that's an option that you can utilize as well if you like that sort of stuff. Does anybody have any questions about budget or anything that we're going over so far? Good. The next kind of topic we're going to talk about is exercising caution and build an emergency fund. Does anybody in here have any sort of emergency fund built up or have tried to do an emergency fund build up in the past? Try, try. There's no shame in trying. So so that's kind of what we're going to talk about now. Unplanned expenses, they always happen. You never know when something may arise that you're like, oh no. So it's really important to try your hardest to set aside some funds for some of those unforeseen circumstances that may arise. It's not fun. I'm sure we've all been in this situation, living paycheck to paycheck, not knowing, if something did come up, how am I supposed to pay